Tucker Carlson is out at Fox News. Couldn't have happened to a better guy. What I will say, though, is while I'm very glad that the person that was arguably responsible for some of the largest, driving some of the most amounts of death threats and violent threats, not just to my office, but to plenty of people across the country. I also kind of feel like I'm like waiting for the cutscene at the end of a Marvel movie after all the credits have rolled. And then you see like the villain's like hand reemerge out to grip over like the end of a building or something. But deplatforming works, and it is important. And there you go. Good things can happen. Tucker Carlson is out.
I think one of the things that people do, and this is a big mistake that we just do, I think, basically as humans, is we don't know when to stop. You know, when you're lauding in victory, when you've achieved the thing that you set out to achieve, when you've achieved that and you become the person, you don't know when to stop, right? It's like in MMA. If you guys watch MMA, you know how when someone's on the ground and someone is throwing a lot of like hammer fists, and the referee has to step in and stop that nonsense and stop that thing so that the other person leaves to live on. This is the problem and mistake that I feel like AOC did when she posted this. I get it; it's a victory for the Democrats having Tucker Carlson out of Fox, because obviously he's a voice that's against their movement, and it was a cause of celebration because you feel like, okay, this man no longer has a platform, and now we can move on. But the thing is, guys like Tucker Carlson, they're just a representative of the people who listen to them. Deplatforming one person doesn't mean you stop the movement and agenda that these people have. And it's not to say that I agree with what they have to say, but what you have to understand is it's better to see them. It's better to have them in plain sight and being like, that's the guy. This is what's being said. How can we counter that, right? The challenges that I have with this post that AOC did is it creates something that's scary. Like, I do reactions, I do commentaries on things like this. That means at some point, if I say something that's against AOC and her movement, the precedence has been set that you can be deplatformed, which then silences a lot of critics, which silences a lot of people with opinions because you're afraid to speak to power, because you don't want to be on the other side of the aisle. You don't want to be, where Tucker Carlson's position is. You don't want to be Andrew Tate. You don't want to be these people who are controversial. You just don't want to be controversial. You're forced into a rock, like The Rock, where you now always want to appear as a good guy, as somebody who stands by the people, with the people. But sometimes it's like we now live at a time where you got to have different views. A lot of us have different views to what's being pushed, right? And one of the challenges we have is, in order to express those different views, you run the risk of being deplatformed. Now, I'm not somebody who agrees with everything that Tucker Carlson says or did. Like, I made a similar video when they banned Andrew Tate, and I was like, I don't agree with the man. I don't agree with his philosophy. I don't agree with the things that he does, but I don't feel like deplatforming someone is the way to go, because it creates a precedent that's very dangerous. Yeah, it works. It's like having an ability that's in your own hands that works for you, in your favor, when it's the people who are against you who are getting deplatformed. But what happens when the tables are turned? What happens when it's your turn? You will be crying. AOC will be crying. Imagine if right now somebody was to come out and being like, I don't agree with what AOC says. She should be banned from Facebook, YouTube, whatever. Right now she was on Instagram. She should be deplatformed. How will you carry forward? Because I get it. These guys have made a lot of money. So maybe people really do not care about, like, oh yeah, they have a lot of money. But then what about the next guy, who lives off of this? This is somebody's livelihood. And the worst part is, it's not even just him, right? So if you look at like the Tucker Carlson show, there's a lot of people who are involved in making that thing become a show on TV, right? You have the janitors, you have the PAs, you have the interns, you have all these people who work for this to make it work, all the advertising, all the people who benefited from that. So in deplatforming someone, you're not only affecting that one person, you're affecting an entire system that's linked through them, right? And what have you achieved? Like, what was the objective? What's the goal? Fine, he's gone. Now what? Now you are the person. How is this a good thing? She says, like, yeah, good things happen. How is this a good thing? You know, like, what's the agenda here? What are you trying to perpetuate? Do you just want us to believe in Democrats and live our lives like ignorant to what you guys do? Like, this is scary. This is not the first time. This is scary. For me, it scares me when I see things like this from someone who's in Congress, someone who people see can be a future president. If she enjoys this, trust me, I come from a country where we're dictators and this is what they wanted. These are the seeds that scare me. These are the seeds that scare me.